Hi there, welcome back to my channel. It's time to make the tier list for the Spanish national final for Eurovision 2023, and this is gonna be tricky. Not only to pronounce song titles, that's gonna be tricky on its own, but actually ranking these songs or putting them into different categories here on screen when I kind of like them a lot, to be honest. I think this is a very strong final, just like with in the previous video on my channel when we talked about the Norwegian songs. This is a strong final, just like the Norwegian ones. Not all of the national finals this year have been very strong in my opinion, but these two, they're kind of a step above the rest, I'd say. It's gonna be tricky today. I have like a general kind of thought about where some songs would probably be. So the rule is basically that there's only one song allowed in the top category. That has to be like, you can only have one winner, right? When it's a contest, there's only one winner. But otherwise, I can put as many songs as I want in the same category. It feels a bit stupid to put like 7 songs as a great alternative and then one as a winner. So I'm gonna try spreading it out a little bit, even if I would like to put, I'm not saying that I would, but even if I would possibly like to put all of the songs here, I wouldn't do that because then it looks a bit stupid, I'd say. I should stop rambling. I think you all kind of understand how a tier list works, so I'm gonna start from working my way from the bottom and up. And I think the song that I have to start with, which I will put in the It's Alright category because I don't really feel that passionately about it. I understand that a lot of people have it as a song that they really, really enjoy, but it's just a song that doesn't really connect with me, and it's called Mi Familia. Um, I've seen a lot of people, like in my comment sections, that people have been disappointed with the live performance of it and the singing mainly, and I understand it. It's a bit on the, I guess, like shouty side. I thought it was part of the charm when I first listened to it. The more I think about it, the more I kind of understand where people are coming from. But my main issue with this song is that it's just not my type of song. I don't really click with this type of music. It's not really melodically interesting to me. I like the guitar arrangement throughout the song. I think the drumming is, or like just the percussive elements of it are really interesting, and it keeps a lot of energy going throughout. But it's not really melodically memorable for me, and it doesn't really it doesn't manage to keep my interest as a song. When I listen to the studio cut, I kind of just zone out because I don't really click with it. It's as simple as that. It's just my subjective side of things there. Um, but if it's a song that really interests you, then that's awesome because it obviously has its own audience, and if you enjoy it, then you enjoy it. For me personally, I can't really click with it. I still find enjoyment in it. I find it a lot of enjoyment watching the performance. I think it's really charismatic. A lot of things are just going on stage as well, and that works with the high intensity of the song on its own. So I think that really works well together. But as a song, just listening to it, it's not really a song that I would set out to listen to at when I feel like it, because it doesn't really offer that melodic interest that I'm really looking for. Even though I like parts of the instrumental and I understand that it's a specific type of genre, I'm just not very open to that specific type of genre, and I wish I was open to every genre equally, but we will always be subjective. It's a human thing. Maybe one day I will grow as well, but for now, I think this is all right. I enjoy watching it for the 3 minutes that it's on, but I wouldn't really go out of my way and watch it over and over again or listen to it over and over again. But it's all right, I'd say. Um, let's move on. I think let me just take a look here at the songs. What is it called? It's called Quiero y Duelo. I know a lot of people like this one. I like it too, so that's why I'm gonna put it in enjoyable. But again, it's just a song that I don't really set out to listen to that much. For the 3 minutes that I listen to it, I enjoy it. For the 3 minutes that I watch the performance, I love it. I think they create their own little world on stage, which is just lovely. The lighting, the props on stage, it just looks fantastic, and I get invited into this charming little world that they're building on stage there, with the instrumental as well, with the song on its own. It's very transformative. I think I said that in my review for this song quite a lot probably, but that's just the key word for what I feel when I listen to this song. I feel like I'm being transformed into what they're establishing and building here. And I think that's really admirable when a song can actually pull that off. I find a lot of enjoyment in that. The reason that I don't think it's probably the song that I would like to see represent Spain, I wouldn't have any issue with it, but I just think there are other options that I would prefer. But I think the reason for that is just that I don't really set out to listen to this song a lot. And I think that come May, when I go through the Eurovision playlist, I would rather have one of the 6 other songs here pop up from time to time in that playlist than this one. And I can't really give a specific reason. I just think maybe they're more my type, my style. Maybe I find them to be more melodically interesting as well. It's a bit like the same case with Mi Familia. This one is a completely different style, especially vocally. But there's not really that melodic intonation that I really latch onto. It's more rhythmically focused. And I'm just kind of feeling like it's a song that keeps going for 3 minutes, doesn't do too much of a variation in terms of its melody, that really hooks me. And I would probably wish for a little bit of more of dynamics throughout as well, instrumentally, to really click with me. And then, of course, again, it's not really a type of music that I'm too familiar with and that I click with. So that's simple as that. We'll move on. There are 6 songs left, and I like these. I think I'll have to put. It's tricky. I think I'll have to put Noche Entera. I think this is really enjoyable as well. It's really fun. A lot of energy, just the right approach as well. That's full of charisma, full of just charm. It's very inviting, very warm, welcoming. I like the backing track of it. It has this warm tone to it that makes me feel really, like, I guess, cozy in a way, while also kind of encourages you to I guess dance and just be active and just have fun listening to it. That's really the vibe I'm getting. It's a lot of fun to listen to. It's a lot of fun watching the performance as well. I think it's very colorful. It's has great choreography throughout. It's just really inviting and charming. And I think a lot of pieces just kind of go together to create that feeling and that delivery of this song, because it's a hook that will stick to your head, or it sticks to my head at least. I think this is very, very memorable. Could even be the most memorable hook in the entire selection. I'd probably say that, but it's not really all the way there. It doesn't really have the drive that I would have wished for it to have, to really just push it over the line. But it's still just a lot of fun listening to, in my opinion, and watching the performance goes hand in hand with that. Just all in all, great, really, really enjoyable. Um, but I guess there are 5 songs that I just prefer a slightly more, and I think we should probably move up into the great alternative category, because we need to. These songs are just great, and yeah, like all of them are pretty damn great. But let's spread it out a little bit. I'll have to put. I think if I'm gonna just follow my general thoughts, like subjectively and stuff, I'd probably put Ea, or however you pronounce it, into, I guess, here. Great alternative. This would stand out so massively in Eurovision. I would love to see it actually get there. It would be really fresh. A refreshing song to have in the selection would stand out, really leave an impression as well, because this is a song that has an identity to it. It really packs a punch. It will divide people a lot. I really admire everything they set out to do here. For me personally, it's not a song that I would set out to listen to. It's more just kind of this artistic project that I would be fascinated by and just kind of get intrigued by and want to know story behind it, want to know why it's doing what it's doing, where it's going, takes you on turns. It's instrumentally really minimalistic and doesn't really do much. It's more just vocal reliant and how these vocals are moving around, in melodically and intonation wise, and also rhythmically. I think mostly, maybe even rhythmically, and or actually mostly how they work in harmony with each other, because the backing vocals offer so much to this song as well. What I think really just makes it go over the line is the incredible vocal performance by the lead singer. I'm terribly sorry, but I forgot her name, but I think it's something like Blanca Paloma. I might be completely wrong, but she's the vocal performance she gives when I saw this live. It's just kind of out of this world. It's so what do you call it, like secure, and just pitch perfect all the way throughout. Really, really impressive. Love the stage layout as well. It's really just fascinating to look at with all of the red colors, the shapes on the screen, how the backing vocalists also carry like a great character on stage as well. I like this whole opening with the clapping, how they clap through these threads, I guess the red threads. It's just really like clever ideas here and there to make it to distinguish the song a lot to an already very distinguished song, because this stands out and it's quite a package. As I said, the reason why I don't think it's the song that I would put at the very, very top as my personal winner is that it's not a song that I set out to listen to. It doesn't have to be. Like songs can be my winner even if I don't really listen to them that much. But in this selection, there are songs that I listen to really a lot. And this isn't really one of them. It's more a song that I would set on the performance. I would really just take everything in and be kind of floored by it for 3 minutes, and then I kind of need a lie down, I guess, or a rest. Um, yeah, that's my general thoughts on it. Really cool. Would be thrilled to see it represent Spain in Eurovision. That would be really cool as well. And we'll see what happens. I've heard it's kind of it could happen that this one goes to Eurovision. Um, Another song which, this one is kind of, I guess, no, it's not the opposite at all, but this is a song that I can listen to a lot. I get a lot of enjoyment out of watching the performance. Arcadia by Megara. This is very, what do you call it, like a fun, creative stage layout to it. Great performance. She's vocally incredibly just secure and confident. It's a great performance. What really just backs it up is also this kind of sound design that I think that the instrumental has. It's rock inspired while also having this synth heavy beats to it. It's very 8-bit, I guess, in the sound designs here and there. It's a bit glitchy, it's a bit choppy. It has this kind of section in the breakdown towards the end where the energy is still keeping up, but you have a new layer of a melody which has a very distinct sound to it, which is very reminiscent of like the 8-bit sound, I guess. Very arcade-ish, I guess. That's kind of what they're going for. But it's really, really nice how everything comes together. It's a nice combination of these distorted guitars and these kind of blocky synths, I guess. They work really well together, and then you have a very convincing vocal performance on top of it. It all just becomes a glue, like it glues everything together into a nice, nice package that just sounds great and comes across with a very strong delivery, I'd say. I have a lot of fun listening to this song and also watching the performance, which I think is really, really fun with everything that's going on stage. Um, yeah, that would be a great alternative. Would be so fun to see this one represent Spain as well. Got a lot of songs to choose from. I think they're really strong. Such a strong selection. Let's also talk about what's it called? It's called Yo Quisiera. Oh, my. This one is so intriguing to me because it doesn't really, like, the rhythmic patterns in this song are kind of non-existent. They're just scattered throughout, and that's a bit fascinating. But what really hits me here is just the punch in the vocal, and also how everything is just kind of building towards or around the vocal. The vocal is really just the key thing you should be focusing on here. I think the piano carries a lot of impact as well, and it does what it wants to do. But without the vocal, the piano doesn't know where to go, because the piano is always adjusting itself to what the vocal is doing. That's the feeling that I'm getting here. The drumming throughout, or the percussive elements, I don't really know what to say about them because they're scattered in such a, I would say, random pattern. It's of course not random because it's been planned out the way that it is. But when you first listen to it, you feel like, oh, the drums hit here, the drums hit here. Why? No idea. But it's probably for a reason. I don't know the reason, but now when you've heard it a few times, you just kind of get used to the hits coming when they come. And I think they just kind of carry a little bit of depth. They don't really carry that much importance into what you're actually supposed to really get dragged into the song, because they more just add a rhythmic hit, or rhythmic hits, multiple ones of course, that back up the vocal and kind of create a flavor to the vocal delivery of this song. I think vocally, this is probably the most. Oh, I can't say it, that it's the most interesting song in the selection, because we have Eia as well, which is vocally just. That's the vocal song here. This one is also the vocal song, but it has a little bit of piano that really interests me as well. Um, it's great. It's beautifully put together and very well arranged, and I love every second of it. Truly, it has me hooked from the first second to the last. Lovely. I also really like this song right here. It's called In Inviernos en Marte. Terribly sorry, everyone from Spain who who has to sit through me trying to pronounce these names. Um, this one is so beautifully written. I think it has a great just flow throughout the song. Has a really strong finale. I'd say instrumentally, when everything just comes together, it becomes this really great climax that really hits very hard. I think the vocal delivery is great. Has a very warm tone throughout, while also being able to deliver both intimacy, drama, variation in mood and tone. It's an atmospheric backing track. It's beautifully staged. Everything just comes together. It feels like the full, complete package to me. And it's a beautiful ballad in that sense, while also having energy, having power. It has a drive to it. It just hits me, and I get really attached to it. It's not a song that I would go around humming, because the melody isn't really that instant in that sense. But at the same time, this is a power ballad. It doesn't really have to have that melody that you need to go around and remember. It doesn't hurt if it does, but this one is more just, I guess, kind of the journey and the backing track and how the instrumental grows and how the instrumental has the impact, because I feel very overwhelmed when I listen to the song. And that isn't necessarily a good thing. It could be very on the edge for some people. It's a very fine balance to kind of keep it a bit restrained while also being able to hit really hard. But I think the contrasts in this song are like just right for my personal taste, and they work really well. The dynamics hit just right for me, and I think it's a very distinct, like the distinct hits throughout the song are backed up by the vocal that really carries the emotion over and wins me over in this song. It's a fine balance. It's really hard to get it right, and if you get it right for a certain type of audience, you'll probably got it wrong for another type of audience, and that's again where subjective opinion comes into it. But for me, this one hits really hard. Not sure if it's the one that I would. I don't think this is really the one that Spain should send if they want a good result. But it would be really nice to see it in Eurovision, for my personal opinion, because I think it's a very beautiful song. But I still have another song that I would most of anything like to see in Eurovision, and it's called Quiero Arder. And this one is just, I think it's mostly down to just the impact that it carries. The staging of this one and just the performance overall is mind-blowingly entertaining, I'd say, and that just kind of won me over. But if you just take the song on its own, I've been listening to this song a lot because it has that just repeatability. You can really listen to it over and over again. At least I can. It has great dynamics throughout the song. It varies throughout while still keeping a smooth and cohesive tone to it. Even during the restrained sections, the mellow part, it still fits with the more dramatic parts and the up-tempo parts, which have these drop sections that are, both horn reliant, synth reliant, very percussively hard hitting. So it's like a combination of all these parts, and they all tie into one great package. And I think what really just kind of, what do you call it, like, becomes the final little touch to everything is just that the performance is so intriguing, and I can't really look away from it when it's on, because the lighting is incredible, the choreography looks great, everything is moving constantly, there's always something going on, and that is also the case for the song, so it matches it really well. What I think the main strength of the song is of course the I guess you call it the drop or the chorus. especially in the like halfway through when this glitchy synth comes in. It comes in from like a backbeat and just really offers that new layer of something refreshing within the chorus, which with a sound design that I'm really, really fond of. I think it fits the soundstage so well. The first time I heard it, I was really taken aback by how well it fit and how unexpectedly it was thrown in. Because it's really easy to throw in new sounds into a song and then really throw off the listener. But this one just worked so well within the context that that very moment, I felt like this is exactly what I want this song to be. It feels so fulfilling, has a great hook to it, very memorable melody, both in terms of vocal and instrumental. These really bombastic horns carry a lot of impact in the melody, and throughout the song, I just don't want it to end. When it's over, I feel like I want to listen to it again, and I want the energy to just keep pulsating and keep going. It's a very energetic song. It always puts me in a good mood listening to it. I feel very um, I feel the intensity of the song really effectively. Just it just gets to me, and I have too much fun listening to this song. I gotta say, and too much fun watching the performance as well. I think it's just a great package altogether, and that's why Quiero Arder would be my choice for Spain's representative to Eurovision. But of course, I'm not the one who chooses that. But in my ideal little world where I decide everything, that would be the case. But luckily, we don't live in that world. But we'll see if I get this one right. I've been pretty, what do you call it? If I think a certain song should win, it tends to not do that. So maybe we'll get something else. Regardless, tell me what song you want Spain to send this year in Eurovision. And yeah, tell me why as well, of course, because that's always interesting to know. And whatever you cheer for, I hope you'll at least have fun watching the show tonight, if you're gonna do that. Regardless if your favorite wins or not, you'll still listen to 8 pretty great songs, and I hope you enjoy doing that. Try and remember that it's all for the love of music, I guess. Thank you so much for sticking around throughout the whole video, and I hope to see you in the next video. I think that's probably going to be a tier list for Czech Republic, their national final, which I've also done reviews for all of the songs for, so that's probably going to be the next video. Be on the lookout for that one if you're interested. If not, well, take care and, and do something else. And if you are interested, take care you too. And bye for now.